been trying to transition to house manager forever, but they keep voting for her, so she can't. Once the agency, listen to this, once the agency creates a list of potential...
happy family. This is one of the weirdest, most creepy interactions I think we've seen yet.
Creepy is definitely the word here, Dan, for this whole interaction.
Potential hires. You meet with that nanny. Then you have to meet with another one of Meghan's assistants. These are two separate auditions. Interviews, but auditions.
When most people imagine working in Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's Montecito mansion, they picture laughter echoing through the halls, little Archie toddling across the polished floors, and Lilibet squealing with delight. Reality, a very different story. Far from the fairy tale outsiders imagine. Forget the glossy Hollywood interviews. Forget walking into a room, smiling politely, and hoping you make a good impression. This wasn't a normal job. It was something else entirely, more intense than anything she had ever experienced before. The hiring process at Meghan Markle's Montecito mansion was less about employment and more like joining a secret operation. The nanny recalls what outsiders might think of as a trial shift, a casual test to see how you handled toddlers. Cute, right? Wrong. It was a full-blown audition captured on hidden cameras.
All that this nanny's been trying to get out of the gig for 5 years, about as long as she's had it, allegedly. I love this notion that a woman who's just given birth to a newborn is going to take on the easier job of managing the entire household. That makes a lot of sense, Meghan. Thirdly,
go ahead.
Just one thing, I picture the search for a nanny as like the...
Every movement, every glance, every reaction was scrutinized, recorded, and stored. Smile too big, laugh at the wrong moment, speak too loud, pause incorrectly. You were immediately on thin ice. Even small gestures like walking into the room with the wrong energy could count against you. And here's where it gets delightfully absurd. The first unspoken rule nobody mentions. The nanny couldn't be too attractive, no glossy hair, no striking outfits, nothing remotely camera-worthy. The goal was invisibility, be so plain, so forgettable, you might as well be a ghost in a room of polished perfection. Think about it. A high-profile family deliberately choosing someone who wouldn't distract from their own spotlight petty? Absolutely. Theatrical? Every inch. This was control disguised as subtlety, an invisible power play in a household obsessed with appearances. Staff insiders say it was made crystal clear during interviews. If you drew attention, even accidentally, you were out. This wasn't jealousy. It was about control total, all-consuming, obsessive control. Every applicant quickly learned that the only thing more important than competence was invisibility. If you were memorable, you were a problem. And in Meghan's Hollywood meets royal world, problems weren't tolerated. Once you got past the audition, the rules hit like a sledgehammer. Forget 9 to 5, forget weekends off. Phones were confiscated at the gate, bags searched, personal lives off limits, relationships absolutely forbidden. Every ounce of your existence had to revolve around their household. It was, in one word, absurd. She'd worked for famous people before, but nothing prepared her for this. Privacy was weaponized, obedience worshipped, freedom a distant memory. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Every single moment happened under strict observation. You weren't just a nanny. You were an actor performing in an ongoing show you didn't even realize was being broadcast to invisible eyes. Every glance, every gesture, even walking down a hallway could be judged. Even trivial interactions, small talk with the chef, handing over laundry, organizing closets, were evaluated. One wrong tone of voice, one minor slip, and you were branded problematic. This wasn't just hiring help, it was recruitment for a lifestyle of surrender. Your identity erased, your thoughts irrelevant, your presence only mattered if it fit into a meticulously curated fantasy, and the kicker, you didn't even know the audience existed. Everything revolved around building the perfect image for cameras, media, and the world outside. In other words, your life became collateral in the production of Meghan's story. And here's where the gossip gets truly wild. The woman worked 12-hour days, 5 days a week, and in all that time, she never saw Archie, never saw Lilibet, not once. No tiny hands waving hello, no baby giggles bouncing off the walls, no little feet racing across polished floors. Nothing. Zip. Nada. Not even the faintest sign that toddlers were present. At first, she assumed the kids were kept in the nursery for privacy, which would have been normal, but months passed. Days blurred, and still, nothing. No sounds of life, no toys scattered across the living room, no signs of toddlers existing at all. Whispering to other staff in disbelief, she asked, "Where are the children?" Some laughed nervously, others shrugged. Silence wasn't just normal, it was mandatory. Imagine this: a sprawling mansion, gardens that could fit a dozen children, a pool perfect for summer splashes, yet the house felt like a tomb. Staff joked that they were caretakers of an imaginary family. And yet, stepping outside, the world saw magazine spreads and Instagram posts showcasing perfect domestic bliss, a smiling family with kids who weren't there. The disconnect was so extreme that she began questioning her own sanity. Was she missing something? Misremembering? Every other staff member reported the same eerie emptiness. The household was alive on camera, dead in reality. And that contradiction haunted her for months until she finally found the courage to speak out. Then came the day the Netflix documentary aired. She watched, unsure if she should sit popcorn in hand, heart thumping, dreading what she might see. Within minutes, she froze. There they were, smiling, laughing, holding children. She had never once laid eyes on pregnant belly shots, playtime in the garden, idyllic family breakfasts. It was magical, and yet it was fake. According to her, nothing matched the timeline she had lived. Rooms were rearranged, lighting meticulously staged. Pregnancies she never witnessed in real life were suddenly showcased as joyful milestones. The family life portrayed on screen was a carefully constructed fairy tale. And the kicker, she had spent months maintaining that house, cleaning those rooms, moving through those spaces. And it felt like the documentary was mocking her actual experience. It wasn't just disappointment, it was disbelief. The house she had known, the routines she had endured, the silence she had navigated, all erased on screen in favor of a perfect, heartwarming story. And while the world swooned over those real family moments, she knew the truth. Behind every glowing smile was a house devoid of life, controlled down to every last detail. Her reaction was equal parts incredulous and bitterly amused. So that's the family I worked for, she thought. The family the world adores. She hadn't seen any of this in real life. The difference between perception and reality was staggering. And now, she was burdened with the knowledge of just how theatrical Montecito really was. Walking into Meghan and Harry's Montecito mansion wasn't like entering a home. According to the nanny, it was like stepping into a fortress where every inch of your life was under surveillance. Phones confiscated, bags searched, devices monitored. Every new day felt like going through airport security before a top-secret mission. And the reason? Not just privacy control. Absolute, unrelenting control. It didn't matter if you had been working there for months or it was your very first day. The rules applied to everyone equally. Staff weren't just asked to keep quiet. They were trained to disappear into the background. Even long-time employees had to surrender their personal lives at the gate. And while the world saw photos of a carefree California family, the people inside the mansion knew the truth. Life there was scripted, measured, and monitored down to the smallest detail. The nanny described the house as a stage set with no audience, every corner polished, every room carefully arranged, every staff member a performer in a play broadcast to millions who didn't realize they were watching fiction masquerading as reality. She said even walking through the hallways felt like tiptoeing through someone else's fantasy. And the more security tightened, the more absurd the atmosphere became. Staff knew everything was being documented. Nothing left to chance. The mansion hummed with a silent reminder. Nothing leaves here unless they want it to. It wasn't just a home. It was a cage of perfection, and everyone inside had to play along or vanish without a trace. Here's the part that makes your jaw drop. The children, Archie and Lilibet. According to the nanny, they were ghosts during her 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week. She never saw them. Not once. No laughter, no cries, no toys scattered across the floor. Nothing. It was as if the mansion had swallowed them whole. The outside world, of course, saw a very different story. Instagram posts, magazine covers, Netflix documentaries, all painting the picture of happy children in a sunny, chaotic household. But inside, the story was emptier than anyone could imagine. The nanny described walking through rooms that should have been alive with the sounds of toddlers, the nursery, the playrooms, even the garden, only to find silence. The famous chicken coop? A backdrop for staged moments. No little hands tending the chickens, no giggles in the grass, just props. The staff whispered among themselves, shocked and sometimes laughing nervously. How do you explain a household allegedly bustling with children that feels so dead? Even months on the job, there were no signs of life where you would expect the chaos of family. Yet the cameras captured a dream family for the world to see reality, and performance existed side by side, and the nanny was smack in the middle of it. The idea that millions believed these children were always there, it was a performance so convincing, so meticulously orchestrated, that it left those inside questioning what was real and what was carefully constructed for the camera. Here's the twist that makes it all even juicier. According to the nanny, the pregnancies we were all shown, pure fiction, Hollywood illusion, months and months inside the mansion, observing Meghan day after day, and there was no visible baby bump, no signs of carrying a child, not with Archie, not with Lilibet, nothing.
On purpose. Putting out a press release that isn't clear, that makes it sound like Meghan just went into labor, when really Archie had been born for several hours at that point, is a foolish game to play, and it only diminished.
Yet Netflix had the world believing in this glowing, hands-on, picture-perfect pregnancy journey. The documentary footage of Meghan cradling a bump, smiling, living her California dream, every frame staged, every angle meticulously crafted, every moment edited to sell a story. The nanny says it was surreal watching it unfold, like seeing a movie of a life you thought you lived but didn't. It wasn't just shocking, it was comical. In its absurdity, months of real life, labor, dedication, and observation were rendered irrelevant by a polished, scripted version of events.
There was already some rumors and some suspicion. This created huge amounts of distrust, and people theorized and claimed that the couple needed time to stage a story because Meghan didn't actually deliver.
And while the public gushed over these intimate glimpses, the staff who actually lived inside the mansion knew the truth. There were no signs, no physical reality, just a carefully curated narrative built to perfection. Her words drip with incredulity. I was there every day. I cleaned those rooms, walked those halls. There was no pregnancy, and yet there it was, on screen, glowing and undeniable, except it wasn't. The gap between perception and reality was staggering, and the woman who lived it firsthand was left wondering how far the illusion would go before the truth finally emerged. Then there's the infamous garden and the chicken coop, icons of idyllic family life. Laughing parents, curious children exploring the yard, chickens clucking in the background. Perfect Americana meets royal glamour inside a set. A carefully crafted backdrop, according to the nanny. She never once saw Archie or Lilibet near that coop. Not a single day. The couple spent time there. Sure, Meghan appeared to enjoy the chickens. Harry wandered the yard. But the children were completely absent. Yet cameras captured family moments that the public devoured. Every giggle, every playful glance, every snapshot of parental love, staged, manufactured and sold to millions as undeniable truth. The absurdity wasn't lost on the nanny. She described moving props, tidying spaces for filming, and watching moments choreographed to perfection. Staff were invisible participants in this theatre, their exhaustion and lived experience contrasting sharply with the polished image being broadcast. It was almost mocking. The world adored these children, watching them grow in real time on screens, while inside the house they were effectively phantoms in a carefully curated Fantasy A family on display where reality didn't exist for anyone outside the cameras. So, where does this leave us? The nanny has spoken. The Netflix documentary is out. The world continues to swoon over a family that behind closed doors was silent, staged, and meticulously controlled. And the biggest question lingers. If staff never saw Archie or Lilibet during countless 12-hour shifts, then where were the children? The gap between perception and reality is immense. Cameras captured moments that never happened. Pregnancies invisible in daily life were suddenly glowing on screen. Children staff never laid eyes on are now the face of a perfect family, and the world believes it all. And perhaps the most fun part, the truth, as always, is stranger than the fiction everyone was sold. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Let us know what you think about these jaw-dropping revelations.